All right, so here we are. It's December 18th, 2022. Here's our first bed that we did. And there's Bo just walking by. Everything is complete. Apricot, about 8 or 9 roses in this bed. We got some bearded iris here. Up front, some white flowering kufia. Behind, I just finished planting all these violas. Kind of a bluish color, bicolor blue. Iris nata in the background. Some foxglove as well. And then over here, got the cherry tree and some more bearded iris. Got a pittosporum called beach ball, some catmint for the cat. I just put these in yesterday. This is Caprasma. I want to say Tahiti Bay is the color or variety of that. This I just picked up and planted this week. This is Taxus, which is a true U, Y-E-W. And in the background, some berberis or barberry. Those lose their leaves in the winter, but I wanted something that has some nice color contrast up against the fence and along underneath these very green roses. And the Taxus, that's kind of like that arborvitae looking plant that you'll see in English gardens. So on the bricks, I've kind of changed the direction of the bed just a little bit. It used to cut in at this angle, but here I've got it extending outward so that you can kind of see where the two beds meet. There's only about maybe 4 or 5 feet there when there used to be about 6. So I'm busy turning this area now into a planter bed, which is great because the previous bed used to be right up against those roses, and I just pruned this yesterday. This is a multi-grafted plum tree. So my next goal is this section 3 we'll call it. Tons of weeds in it, battling with the roses. Arborvitae in the background, that's green emerald. More irises here in front, and this has been overall a really great tree. This is Fuji apple, very few apples from it though, but this shape has been pretty awesome. Unfortunately though, as you can kind of see, this one branch back here, it developed fire blight. And it just totally killed that 1/3 to half the tree off. So it's not really leaning per se, but it's never again gonna have that really nice structure to it. So I am looking at taking that out and putting in maybe a smaller seating area. I don't quite know yet. And then, all right, so we'll just walk around to the rest of the garden. I'll show you some other projects coming up. This is Anna apple here. Tons of apples, but you know, they're not as sweet, they're not as fantastic, they don't store for a very long time, but they are very productive. It's a small tree, great for a small space. Some more irises. That's Bo right there. She showed up about 1.5 years ago as a kitten, and she's decided to make this her home, which I'm totally okay with. This is Casablanca lily. 3rd year for this, so I'm going to dig it up, separate it out, and the same thing over here behind that is a really cool double flowered pink lily. Cecile Brunner. Everyone calls it Cecil, but it's a girl. It is Cecile. One of the oldest roses in production, 1881. Some pansies and violas for other parts of the yard, some hollyhock, clerodendron, That's just Entranthus back there, and large California blue-eyed grass, Hymenanthus, heliotrope, Mugo Pine. This is Tabernet Montana, and this is something I had never seen before. Now, I have been in the nursery business for 27 years, and before and after my time in the nursery business, I know a lot about plants. I had never seen this one. It's got a fantastic fragrance, kind of like heliotrope in a way. And let's see if we've got the name on it. I did buy it from Upland Nursery. So Aloysia, White Almond Bush. And again, nothing I had ever heard of or seen before. So that was kind of cool. And that's what I want to add to the yard. This is dogwood. That's dormant here. That's a ligustrum in the back that I've taken back probably to about 20–30% of what it had originally been, and got a whole string of ligustrum to do that too, taking out every other one. It's just, you know, something that's been planted for a really, really long time. Over here, this used to be my pond area, about 9 foot wide at the widest, 21 feet in length. I'm not quite sure what this is going to be yet. Probably going to fill it in. I'd love to do a seating area back here underneath this tree. In the back, the very far back corner, there is a Disigothica, False Aurelia, Heavenly Bamboo. That came up from seed. Clivia, I've had that for about 20 years. Beautiful orange flowers during the early part of the springtime. Ivy, English ivy along the wall. Used to never have ivy. This actually creeped in from the neighbors, and it's kind of ironic because they've gotten rid of all of theirs, and I still have everything here on the fence. Some Shastas. I did cut back the Leonotis. I always cut that back every single year to just the stump, and it comes back to like 6 feet tall every year. This was a seedling fig tree. Has not produced any figs. Have had it for about 8 years or so now, but the trunk was extremely straight, and I use it just in case if the fence decides ever to fall over again. I've got here some rabbit's foot fern, and originally came from this basket here. Basket's not looking terrific right now, but it's so funny because I just had some extra and I planted it here. This is a special fern for me just because I've had it since 1986. I started working at a nursery then, and there was a rabbit's foot fern that had died back, and the lady who was working at the nursery with me, Dale, gave me the rhizome and said, here, this will grow back, but we just can't sell it. And so it has, and it's been with me ever since, and I don't even want to count the years. Over here, we do have some ajuga underneath all these leaves. It's burgundy glow. And underneath these leaves over here, we've got a variegated alstroemeria. Over here, we got some comprosma, Japanese Aurelia, beautiful sword fern. That's just done fantastic, and that gets quite a bit of sun actually. I think that is Suppressus Nana in the background. I've got a beautiful daylily, which of course needs to be cut back. Same thing with those Shastas. On the wall over here, we've got lavender trumpet vine, some French sorrel. This is actually Amaryllis belladonna coming up. Shasta daisy. This is a really cool conifer. I don't know the name of offhand, but this is, I picked it up from a clearance sale down at Rogers Gardens in Newport Beach. And it was probably half price, but it's just done fantastic there. And then some Diamondia with some Oxalis coming up in between it, which will be taken out sometime. Some geraniums in the planter bed, pineapple guava, espaliered fig on the side. That's from a nursery that no longer exists called Exotica down in Vista, which is near San Diego. Some lavender, and then a dwarf Eugenia in the background. And that is, still some roses blooming. We've had a fairly cold December, but still have a few roses, and we're going to be cutting that back soon. The only other thing I'll showcase here is this. This is my favorite plant in the entire yard. This is my Magnolia Solangiana, my tulip tree, and that's going to be pruned back just about another week or so. But that's probably my favorite flowering plant in the entire yard. So with that, that is the yard tour for today.